You know, in assembling this podcast, I had this concern that there was not enough, and I've saved too much, I think.
When you look back, you're like, it should be a pretty long podcast.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, it's long. But, I mean, there's a lot here to talk about. We got to talk about movies. We got to talk about traveling Europe with a ferret. We've got to talk about a new pimple popping toy that we found.
That thing's weird.
It is.
And thankfully, it's too late for Valentine's Day, because if you gave that as a gift, you'd be single, and it's on back order.
You know what, though? I feel like there are, like, you'd be
couple,
single.
the right couple.
Yep, I do. I feel like you could find the right girl that would be like, all right, don't tell anybody that you got me this, but I'm so excited about it. Don't
there's something.
tell anybody about this. That's what I feel like that person's out there. We also talk watching movies a second time, the Olympic box set Nikki wants for her birthday. And I'll tell you what, the last thing you're going to hear in the podcast.
Pancakes.
Privilege.
Privilege pancakes.
And hatred. Because you're going to hear Nikki scream out, and I quote, "I hate you." That's
Now, am I telling it to the pancake or to Obi? You're going to have to find out by listening.
You'll have to decide for yourself, but I'll give you a hint.
It's not the pancake.
All right, so you guys enjoy the podcast. Have a great day. What's today? Monday.
And don't forget to check out Radio U and Radio U Riot on Facebook. There you can talk more about the movies that might be better the second time through.
Yeah, and that's an important discussion. It's the Riot.
Imagine a world where the Riot never talks and it's glorious Radio U music for hours on end. Now, imagine the opposite of that. You're already there. It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
Got to say what's up to Phil. He's sounding off at us on Facebook. You can do the same, facebook.com/Radio U Riot. You can also text us whenever you like, 877-2-RADIO-U.
Or more than welcome to call as well.
He sent us a link to Cadbury Cream Egg Ice Cream.
Hello. Even though some in this room enjoy Cadbury cream eggs more than others.
Well, I mean, I'm sure that's true of everything.
But eggs are a vital part of our breakfast, so we should still look at it.
Seems reasonable, right? I've never, we don't really do ice cream taste tests on this show.
I think probably because, why would we not? There's no difference between that and everything else we eat.
I mean, we have a freezer.
Someone mentioned, remember a long time ago, they kept wanting us to try the Twinkie ice cream.
Yes.
And there was a couple other flavors.
And we didn't do that, did we?
I don't think we did. I mean, not on air.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I had that at some point, but I don't think
not
we
in the
did.
official Riot Food Fight setting.
Okay. Well, we definitely, I feel like we could branch out a little bit, and I would totally try a Cadbury Cream Egg ice cream. They also have Cadbury Crunchy, Cadbury Caramel.
Well, let's go with Crunchy.
Flake 99.
What's that?
What's the 99?
Is that a British thing?
What does that even mean? I don't know. We'd have to ask Phil. He's the one that sent it to us. We got Flake ice cream, the Flake 99 cone, the Flake 99 strawberry clone.
Flake 99 can refer to an ice cream cone with a Cadbury flake inserted into it.
So that's just like a chip? Like a little chip off a Cadbury chocolate?
It kind of looks like that. Like a churro if it was made of chocolate.
Look, no, that doesn't impress me. You're going to have to do better
This
than
is
that.
not something that it's like the flakiest part of it. The crumbliest, flakiest milk chocolate.
I'll tell you who sounds flaky right now.
This right here?
Mm-hmm.
That's not something we have here.
That sounds like you're not committed to your chocolatey flavor. No, we need to find this Cadbury Cream Egg ice cream. I don't know what it's going to take to do that. I'll tell you what, though. We should probably, that feels more like an Easter thing. We should at least get to the other side of Valentine's Day,
Don't you
right?
think it sounds nice, though? Your throat's hurting. You still have a little bit of a cold going on. Just some nice ice cream. But you're right. I think they do say if you're on antibiotic or something, ice cream's not the best.
I don't know how that's supposed to work.
You just don't know what to do.
Yeah.
But I bet you mentally it'd make you feel better.
Yeah, well, you know what, Phil? It looks like, it seems like these are available in the United States. At least the website makes it look that way. But, Nikki, you sent me a link to a British grocery store.
That's to what is a treat there.
Okay.
So that's the flake.
Okay.
That's the Cadbury cream flake that we don't have. But, yeah, maybe it's here.
Well, you know what? I'm all on board for Cadbury eggs. You know where to find me.
You remember that time you started your morning with a gas station breakfast sandwich and immediately regretted it? Yeah, it's like that. The Riot. Radio U.
A lot of people accuse me of not being sick, but maybe just having a little Olympic fever over the weekend.
Well, that's not true. You only had a fever on Thursday, and that was before the Olympics started.
You know what? You're right. It was a prelim fever. You know, taking a look at the current medal count, Nikki. The United States not doing so great. I don't even know what place we're in. We've got 4 medals. The Netherlands has 5. Germany has 5. Norway has 8 medals.
Well,
but in fairness, it's cold there all the time.
They have a leg up.
Yeah, I mean, like Winter Olympics, that's where they're at, right? So, talking about what happened in the Olympics over the weekend, a big one was the bronze that was won in the team figure skating competition. Adam Rippon and Mirai Nagasu. She actually landed a triple thing.
Something? Yep, yeah. I saw that.
She was the first one in United States skating history.
That was amazing. I watched that this morning.
Third person to do that at the Olympics. Jamie Anderson won gold. That was for, let's see, shortened women's slope style. As you can see, there's a lot of qualifiers.
Just want to make sure you get it right.
Well, I do want to get it right because
there's a lot.
Someone would be like, no. She didn't win women's slope style. It was shortened women's slope style.
Completely different. And if you were into the sport, probably, yes, completely different.
Yeah, I know. And then Chris Mazur, he got a silver on Sunday night, which was the first men's singles luge medal
I love hearing your Olympic coverage.
Hey, Nikki, you got to get it right.
That's right. It just sounds so nice.
So, I mean, men's team luge, I don't know, but men's single luge is the first U.S. medal in that sport in history.
You right there get a gold.
So congratulations to him for doing that. So like I said, right now, Norway is in the lead. Canada is in second place with 6 medals. What is NED? Is that the Netherlands?
Well, this is where we really shine, guys.
I really
Isn't
actually
it?
don't know.
We really do. I don't know.
NED, country abbreviation.
Great.
How come it's not?
I don't see anything. Do you?
Why isn't it coming up right now?
There's no code for that.
What country is NED? NED is the Netherlands.
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
Killing it.
This is why we're not over there. In case you're like, why did the riot not go?
Well, we didn't
for your
make
Olympic coverage.
I'll just tell you right now, we didn't make it through the qualifiers, okay?
We did not.
The broadcast Olympic qualifiers, they don't even show that on TV.
You don't just get to go, but we did not pass.
We did not.
And we didn't want to go anyways.
Mm-hmm. So that's the word, and I'll tell you, all I know is I'm taking this antibiotic, but the Olympic fever is still strong,
there.
Nikki.
It will be with you until it ends.
Yeah, just another week. But you know what? I got a 10-day prescription, so I should be by the time you got to take it, even if the symptoms go away. You got to keep taking
going.
it.
Well, yep. All right. Well, we'll talk more about Olympic stuff then tomorrow, won't we?
Really excited.
The worst of the riot has no expiration date. It's born spoiled. It's the Riot on Radio U.
We want to know the name of the main London airport.
Ooh, airports for one pack of riot gear.
Like, what's the big one?
You got Keith. He was first with your correct answer.
All right, Keith, what's your answer?
The answer is London Heathrow.
Wait, let's check with the judges. Looks like you're okay.
That'll work.
All right, thanks for calling, Keith.
Have a great week.
Thanks, you as well.
Thanks, bye-bye.
Okay, Nikki, so here are the things that I've learned. When we were talking about the airport being shut down, it's not Heathrow that was shut down. It was the City of London airport.
The City of London, yes. There's a City of London.
It's
weird.
You'll have to Google it, but
it's there.
It's a thing. So that's the one that's closed down. That's the one that sits on the Thames, which apparently Heathrow does not, which is why they found this bomb. It was underwater, which is why they haven't seen it up until now. But that's why City of London Airport is closed. Heathrow remains open. Now, Nick, you made a comment about it being the largest airport in the world.
No, not the world. It could be.
Okay. Well, here's the deal. It's depending on how you track it.
Yeah.
Some people say airports are the largest based on size, based on number, based on whatever. I can tell you as far as passengers go, it's the 3rd largest airport in the world.
Who's that fall behind, or does it say?
Number 2 would be, where'd it go? Beijing Capital International Airport. That is number 2. And then the number 1 largest airport in the world by number of passengers is the Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport.
Where they always try to get you to go through.
Boy, they do.
And you're like, wait, I'm going to the other side of the country. Doesn't matter.
Like, you know what? From Seattle to Portland. We're going to take you Seattle to Atlanta to Portland.
Every time I'm like, why do I have to go to Atlanta? Just do it. It's basically what they're telling you.
New York City to Atlanta to Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
Man, I've flown through Atlanta
LA to
so many
Atlanta
dumb
to
times.
San Francisco, and you're like, I think this is a longer trip than it needs to be.
Guys.
But you're not supposed to question where they try to route you through.
Do you want a discount on this flight or what?
Do you want to get on the flight or
then you're
not?
going to Atlanta.
So maybe that's not an unfair award for them when everybody tries to push them through there.
What? Oh, so you're saying that it's an unfair advantage?
It's bloated.
Those numbers are all wrong. Nobody's going to Atlanta.
No one wants to.
They're just people. They make them go there. No one stays.
That's right.
No one stays in Atlanta. So, yep, Heathrow. That's the big one. And you know what? I guess that means you probably can still get to London today. We thought there was no way.
Just not the airport. We're at the city of London.
Right.
And if, like Obi said, you Google that, there's a YouTube video that's fascinating to learn all the details on the city of London.
Yeah, it's in there. So
weird.
Yeah.
Including, I think, if you want to be the mayor of that place, it's very odd.
Yeah. And I mean, the other thing is, keep in mind that I'm calling it City of London Airport, but they're probably like, it's not that. It's the...
It's just what we're saying here.
Again, we're doing our best with what we have here. Like, I'm sure there are a lot of local somethings.
Pass.
Something.
Pass. Are you going to say pass on this?
Pass. Pass.
Wish the worst of the riot would never end?
Everything that has a beginning has an end.
What is wrong with you? Get our daily podcast through iTunes, Google Play, or the Radio U app.
You know what? If you're sick, you have my sympathies. I caused quite a small stir in my small social circle when last week I said that I had a confirmed case of the man flu. You would not believe how many text messages I got from people. They're like, oh, you have the flu.
So cute. People thought that meant you had the flu when it's not. That's just a term for you're being a baby.
That just means that you're a man who gets sick. And of course, when women get sick, they just keep going. And when men get sick, they're like, oh, I'm so sick, I can't make it. I see that as a horrific gender bias. And to be honest, I'm ashamed that in the society we live in, that we would even call things out like that, because that's...
It's apparently still okay to do, and you had it.
Can you imagine if men begin calling something a woman flu? Can you imagine the outrage?
The drama?
Yeah. So that being said, I had the man flu, and so when I said that...
Now you just have a sinus infection.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's getting better, though. The good news is, if you missed it earlier, if you get this, you're never sleeping again.
Well, I bet one day you will. And then you'll look back, you're like, you know what? It was only like 3 weeks I couldn't sleep. It's fine.
It was just the whole month of February
I
that I
didn't even
didn't
need to
sleep.
sleep. And then you wonder, like, why will I never catch up on my sleep?
It's not that big of a deal. Oh, you think this will haunt me the whole year? Like the whole year I'm trying to catch up on sleep from right now?
Could be. And they're like, you never can catch up.
No. It's the worst when you start to realize you're like, I'm not waking up coughing, and then you realize you've actually just been coughing the whole night, but that stuff you took to help you sleep has just kept you just below the threshold.
Wake back up again.
Yeah. Didn't even work last night, though.
Well, he does not have the flu,
I took
though.
so much medicine. You don't even know.
You have the sinus infection.
Yeah, it's fine.
You're first of the year, but you're second of the season.
Yes. I have some friends that have the actual flu, though.
Yeah.
And they said I couldn't get any real details out of them, but they were like, yeah, I couldn't get out of bed for almost 4 days. And I think to myself, like, when you say that, I'm like, but when did you have to go to the bathroom?
No, you can make it, but you just can't. Like, you can't possibly.
You couldn't even.
When you're saying to yourself, I can't even.
I can't even.
And we've all, I mean, you know how that feels like.
The thing is, like I said, I can't even this morning, but like I can.
You don't
That's
want
like a
to.
real can't even.
That's the worst. The flu's the worst.
Yeah. No, I hope to not have it. I got the flu shot, and it didn't inoculate me to the man flu. But
that you had.
The flu, I'm hopeful.
Otherwise, we've been fine. No one here has had the flu yet. We thought someone did, but they don't.
Turns out they didn't.
Have a virus, which acted a lot like the flu. And the problem is, even with your sinus infection, if you're so sick, then you're able to possibly get the flu as well because your body's in such a weakened state.
Hey, the doctor was literally like, you really shouldn't go out. You should stay home. And
Where's
I
your
did,
mask at?
And, well, I can't do this.
No, I mean like
your
your sickness mask, though, just once you're done with the show.
I don't have one. I should go home then, right?
at this point.
That's
no.
what Nikki said. That's what she said.
I'm not pretending to write you a sick note.
That's what she said. She was
but
like,
I am sending this out to you. Every time you walk by, I yell, virus!
Virus! Unclean! Unclean! Unclean!
Starting your day with the worst of the riot is a great idea because it's guaranteed to get better from here. It's The Riot on Radio U.
Let's see a show of hands. Who enjoys popping pimples?
Ew, but
Anybody?
The videos.
You're into it?
No, it's just fascinating. Not pimples. What do they call them? Like a cyst or
A
something?
blackhead?
No,
A cyst?
the thing where it's like the giant bubble and you just want to hurl, like that sort of video. But not just pimples. Like that's just day to day. That's normal stuff.
All right, well, Nikki, I got something for you that might be of interest to you. Have you ever heard about the Poppet Pal?
No, what is that?
The Poppet Pal.
Ew, what is it?
What's the matter?
It's gross. Okay, that's not skin. That's fake. Okay.
It is fake skin, but it's a little...
I thought that was someone's skin. I was like, what did they do? They cut it off. They cut the skin off.
They cut the skin off someone's back and they ship it to you.
That is gross.
No, it is a pimple popping toy. I can't look at it anymore.
It's like a piece of plastic, and then it's got holes punched in it, and so you squeeze stuff out of it. Mm-hmm. Gross.
Wow. And
it's a silicone sponge full of faux zits.
That's right. And if you feel like, oh, but crap, once I've done this, now it's empty, you actually buy this stuff called pimple pus, which you then can refill it and you can keep popping all the pimples on it.
Saying this is almost like, like the fidget spinner was something for you to play with to kind of get your mind at ease, that this is something similar to that.
Yeah. I had a friend of mine.
If you had a pimple like that, that is intense.
I had a friend of mine tell me that she felt like popping pimples and like all this stuff was some sort of like obsessive compulsive thing for her. She became like obsessed with popping them.
Well, then don't get her this. She'd never stop.
She'd just be like, I'd spend all day popping these fake pimples.
It's called the Poppet Pal.
The Poppet Pal. How much would you pay?
Nothing.
For this?
This seems like something you get at the mall at a kiosk, but...
You know what, Nikki? I feel like you're being a little judgmental right now.
This is gross.
Again, like we're using judgment words.
$15.99.
Not enough, I'm afraid.
$19.99.
$19.99 is correct.
Because there's no way that's over 20.
For additional packages of pus, those are $5.99.
Gross. The one on the picture looks kind of greenish.
Yeah.
Maybe you scroll down.
Yeah. You like that one seems more like a yellow, but maybe you could add some food coloring to it. That seems more like
a sickness mucus, not a pimple.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? If it's just mucus you want, like I could sell you some bottles of stuff.
Is that like pasta they put in there or something, or what?
No, that's the pus.
Well, I know, but like if you want to refill it, then what's it made out of?
Well, Nikki, that's a trade secret, I'm afraid. Proprietary blend.
They can't tell us.
If they tell you that, then what's the point in even having their business?
If you could like mash some potatoes and like stuff it in there and like that's your free way of refilling the Poppet Pal thing.
Well, Nikki, I feel like first off, like you're really exploring the space and I appreciate that. And second, feel free to try it on your own. Like, get this thing and make yourself some mashed potatoes to put in there.
It's also free shipping. Did you mention that too?
I did not.
But it takes 6 to 9 weeks if you want to get that.
Well, it takes a long time to make fake skin with fake zits.
It does, apparently.
Oh, but the joy of just popping zit after zit.
Now, we won't judge you if you're interested in this, and we'll say it slowly. So in case you need to go look it up and, again, not ask us for more details on it like sometimes people do. It's called the... What is it? Pimple Pal?
It's called Poppet Pal. POPITPAL.com.
Okay. And then, again, it's on back order. But
hey, you know what that just goes to show you? A lot of people want to pop the fake zits. Ew.
The Riot has a problem with authority.
It's a little rule. Maybe you're not familiar with it. Nobody tells me what to do, ever.
Hey, who's drinking coffee right now?
Cups up.
Right here. Who needs coffee almost as much as they need the air they breathe?
Cups back up.
Yeah, I'm needing that stuff. Who is concerned about the polystyrene containers that their coffee often comes in? Okay, I'm putting mine down because I never even think about it. But somebody does.
Normally you use a reusable cup.
Somebody does.
Normally you have a tumbler.
I do, actually. I almost never have a disposable cup. But Dunkin' Donuts is concerned about what they're doing to the environment, Nikki. So as a result, they're going to ditch foam cups by the time we hit 2020 because they say those polystyrene containers are causing too much of an environmental impact.
I was fascinated because this isn't the first company that said, okay, we're going to make a change. They're like, well, we're no longer doing red dye and these cereal things. So it's something to where you'll hear a company say we're changing. They always make it like 2 or 3 years later when it actually starts happening.
Well, it makes sense to me that
does it take that long?
Maybe they've already bought enough cups for like 2 or 3 years worth of whatever. And they're
maybe they can't guarantee that the others will be in all places until then.
Or maybe they signed a contract. They're like, hey, we'll buy our cups with you until whenever. But
Big Styrofoam?
Hey, Big Styrofoam paid for all of this, Nikki.
I paid for Duncan.
Mm-hmm. So they say, again, by 2020, it'll be out, and they'll be instead switching over to, a double-walled paper. Okay.
Nice.
Well, let's talk about that for just a minute. Doesn't that just mean that you're killing all the trees now?
Well, you're supposed to be recycling that.
Okay.
Styrofoam just sits.
Right. No, I get that.
That doesn't go anywhere. That was built to last.
But I thought like using paper was killing trees, and so now
that's okay now, or it's better now.
So it's okay to kill trees?
You're supposed to bring your reusable bag with your reusable cup. You're supposed to fill that up.
Well, ideally, the reusable cup is where we would go with that. Though I've had some people tell me that if you keep a tumbler for too long, it stinks. This tumbler stinks now.
You're supposed to wash it out.
Well, yeah, but they say that
even with that?
Even with, like, if it, after a while, the tumbler stinks.
Well, that's why when you go to Dunkin' Donuts, they're going to be selling you all those tumblers. So you're like, you know what?
buy a new tumbler.
Like, I got to get a new one today. It's like shoes. It just stinks.
Makes sense to me. Makes sense to me, but that's their plan. Hey, I'm drinking a Dunkin' Donuts coffee right now, actually. I was in the break room.
Are you still out at home?
No, but you know what happened? I was doing my cold brew, and I don't know what happened today.
Didn't time it right?
I got up at the right time, the same time. Didn't matter. Everything.
Someone was moving very slow today then.
I guess. I don't know. I just know that I got downstairs and I was like, yeah,
you didn't have your coffee.
No. I'll just put this in here. I normally don't start my coffee till I at least get here, sometimes later, and I don't know. Nikki, it's Monday. Got a case of the Mondays, as they say. But I'm still here, still fighting the good fight. Woo! Who wants to fight right now?
And that's medicine talking.
Nikki's my designated champion. I don't do any fighting in this condition.
Want to know what the Riot is doing right now? Follow them on Instagram and Twitter at riot.radiou.com. It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
Now, some of the circumstances are tragic around Charlie Hamilton. He's from the UK. His mom recently died, and he also had a friend, a childhood friend that had also died. And he said that it put him into a period of profound introspection. And one of the things he realized was that both his mom and his friend had unrealized dreams when they died. And so he decided he did not want to live life not realizing his dreams. So he gave away and or sold basically everything that he had, bought himself a lorry, a van, something that he's able to travel in and basically sleep
live in as well.
And so he has a pet ferret. And so he's taking his pet ferret, Bandit, and he's going to travel all over Europe and pretty much
his dream?
Anywhere else that he can get his ferret and his
van
truck thing into. Yeah, that's what he's going to do. So, Nikki, what are your unrealized dreams?
I feel like
if it's a ferret ownership, we can take care of that a lot quicker.
No, but I feel like it's in between. Like if I came to that moment, I was like, listen, you got to live a little bit more, live your life a little bit more. I would probably not sell everything and change my life completely. But if it was traveling, maybe I would travel. Like Obi and I have had on our bucket list for a long time. I want to go to Tokyo. Yeah. I want to go to Japan. I've not made that realization like I can go yet. But I would
The only thing that's stopping you, Nikki, is you. First week of April. First week of April, you go to Japan.
But I think instead of like completely changing my life, I would make more opportunities to make some little things changed.
Well, like give me a little thing.
Japan. Well, that's a big thing.
That feels like a big thing.
But traveling, that's all I got.
Here's the question I have now, and not to be a downer, but what happens if you travel and then you realize that wasn't it? Like, what happens if you're like, I've always wanted to go to Japan, and you go to Japan, and you're like, I hate to break it to you, but I don't know what it is, but I don't like it here.
Maybe we have too much expectations for it, and it's not just Japan. There's a couple other places I'd like to, but taking that opportunity if it came up to not just miss it.
Yeah, okay.
Which we can tend to do because we say, money, that is a big factor, or just time.
Money is a pretty big limiting factor. At least it can be. Because again, you've got, well, let's be honest. You got to have a job. Far Cry comes out next month. You got to have money to be able to buy it.
I wouldn't suggest just taking out the credit card and making those dreams happen. You're not supposed to do that.
It's not like that.
That's not what it is, but you got to find a way.
Okay.
That's legal. So
legal.
I guess we have to change all those qualifiers.
So what would you, if I offered you the opportunity to, you had to sell your house, but you could just travel the United States in a thing with your dogs?
I like a home base.
You like a place?
I like a home base.
And not a mobile home
and
place?
I don't like taking my dogs in the car. They can be annoying. So I don't want to just live my life that way.
So you're
They
out.
put their nose all over the windows and put snot all over it, and they scratch at things. I don't like it.
Yeah. I don't know what, like when people say they want to live life to the fullest, that's one where I don't know what that means.
They want this deep down, what it is not having a job but still having the money.
Yeah, okay.
That would be like living life to the fullest. You just go out and do whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
And you don't have to have a job you have to check in to keep you back.
Okay. So money's holding us back, but you have to have it to do
that
basically
is the catch
anything.
with it. That
you don't
is.
have to have it.
But you should have it.
Yeah. I was reading an article last week about all these people that are angry at this couple that they sold everything and they're doing that. They're traveling and one of the ways they're feeding themselves is that they go to soup kitchens and blah, blah, blah. And people are really mad at them because they're like, okay,
you're not homeless.
These were designed for people that, needed help, and you don't need help. You need help living on vacation. That's
a sticky one right there.
It is a sticky one.
But I have heard of people like, okay, you sell everything, you go travel, but then you work at the restaurant and trade for your food.
Right.
Or you do a couple of just generic jobs while you're in a town or something, but you're not taking charity like that.
I don't know. Nikki, I think you should. It's time for you to give it all up.
No. If I am going to Japan, we're going to Japan.
Okay, let's go.
The show is going to Japan.
All right, sure.
That's why we're also still waiting. It's not just one ticket we need. It's several.
Two.
Yeah.
Worst of the riot, not enough? Not enough. Check the blog and all things Riot at riot.radiou.com.
Okay, Nikki, here's my question.
Yeah.
Over the weekend, I watched Ghost in the Shell, and I saw that in the theater last March, and then I bought it on Black Friday for a whopping, I believe, $6.
Even though you bought it after not liking it as much in the theater.
I did. I remember liking it in the theater. I just remember thinking, this is so nerdy. There's no way it's going to take off. There's just no way that it's going to take off.
And you were right.
And I was right. But going back and watching it a second time over the weekend, I was like, I love this movie. I loved it. I had so much. It's not perfect. I liked it.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. It's visually stunning. And more than, I'll have to say, the sound design is incredible. The music, the sound effects, they really come together for something special. And if you've got a chance where you can listen to it in surround sound, it makes a very fine home theater presentation. And as a result, I find myself really enjoying it. I was like, man, I like this a whole lot better the second time around. And then I started asking the question, what are some movies that the second time you watched
was
it
better than the first?
You really liked it, whereas the first time it was like,
I'll tell you, that's not normally the way it happens. Normally, you watch it the first time, you don't like it.
You don't even watch it a second
time?
time?
And the second time, you still don't like it.
Okay. Well, lay it down for me. Can you think of a movie where you...
I'd almost need a list. Like,
okay.
I'd have to be reminded of a couple of maybe there are a few that I wouldn't be the only one.
I can think of another one for me right now, and that was Jurassic World.
I liked that the first time.
See, I saw Jurassic World in the theater, and I was like, man, I don't like this.
And you didn't
it's
like
dumb.
the hype where everybody else is liking it?
Well, I don't know. I wasn't super excited about it, but I went to see it, and after seeing it, I was like, man, I don't like this very much. Saw it at home the second time, and I was like, this is great.
Yeah, I never understood why you didn't like it the first time.
But I'm like that. In fact, a lot of times when I walk out of a movie, people ask me if I liked it, and I'm like...
You need to digest it a bit?
I don't know if I liked it. And a lot of times for me, it will take a second watching. Let's see, Eric here. Eric says, Batman versus Superman. I appreciated it way more the second
people
time.
Were so harsh on it. You were almost afraid to say you liked it in the first place.
Okay, Jeff says, Back to the Future and Monty Python Search for the Holy Grail. I get that. You You gotta know what you're in for. Jeremy says Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. I never even watched that.
I don't know about that one.
Is that
Are
the
you
one
sure?
that's on Netflix right
the
now,
newer
right?
one?
Yeah, that's the
it's
brand
there.
new one. Okay. Let's see. Matt Brooks says The Prestige. Yeah, the Prestige was so good though. Like it was good like the whole time. Inception, he says as well. Basically anything by Christopher Nolan.
You need to watch the second time.
He says you need it one more time in order to get all of that. David says The Hateful Eight. Ben says Terminator 2 and The Matrix. Amy says Transformers movies 1 through 3. The second, third.
All the Transformers movies.
Amy,
or
listen,
maybe you don't even like those.
I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but like, I don't think those get better the second time. I don't think they do.
Hey, let her have her choices.
You know what?
Though.
But then again,
it's fine.
I've seen most of them twice, except for Transformers 2, which I was like, I can't bring myself to watch it again.
You didn't see the night one, did you?
I didn't see the one from last summer. That's another one where I keep telling myself, like, hey, man, you need to watch that.
Well, if you need a moment to think about a movie that might fit in this category, if you go to Radio U on our Facebook page, if you post it there, then we'll see some more options.
Yeah, so please stop by and tell us what you think. Julia says, I've never had that happen, but I have had the opposite happen. I went to see Twilight and hated it.
Sometimes when you go, especially if you're with a friend or friends, then you like it as a group and you're just not ready to voice your own personal opinion.
Yeah.
And you just kind of liked it because everybody else, you had a good time.
Yeah.
But when you go and you're at home and you put all that aside and you're just you and the movie.
Yeah.
That's when you realize it might not be so good.
I'm just deeply opinionated when it comes to movies. I mean, there's important things I don't care about, but movies like.
I'm surprised you liked Ghost in the show.
Really? Oh no!
It was so bad. The acting was so bad.
No, the acting was two things. One, it was intentional, and two, it was intentional. It was intentional. They were making. That's the part that's crazy about it, and why no one likes it. It is a live action anime.
Yeah.
And anime is ridiculous. And so when you take what animated people are doing that is ridiculous and you have living human beings do the same thing, it's like.
But the problem is when you do that, then it just translates to bad acting.
No, it's not.
Because they're like, here, will you stare off to the distance when you're talking to somebody with no emotion, like a robot?
Nikki, that's not bad acting. That's a choice.
Well,
it's just a choice you didn't like.
I didn't like it.
It was all of it. When you watch, it's all very intentional. And that's, again, why I said no one's going to like this. I like it, but I can tell you right now,
no one
is going to like this.
And that is true.
Recycling paper is like planting a tree. Recycling the riot is like burning down the rainforest.
We ain't gonna be in no fire, not today.
It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Anybody else get in any other good movies?
Oh, you know what?
Don't forget, if you go to Radio U Riot, we were talking movies that are better the second time through.
Oh, you know what? I'm guilty of putting that on the Radio U page and not the Radio U Riot page.
Oh, that's fine. Well, you can find it also at Radio U on Facebook.
Mm-hmm. So I did have a couple of people text in that wanted to be heard. Someone whose name I do not know. Wait, Dre said Deja Vu, which...
That was a... Denzel Washington one.
What? Okay, I saw that, but I don't remember.
We've only seen it once, which is why we can't talk any more about it, because we don't know if it was the second time around better.
I definitely don't know if it was any better the second time around. Let's see. I've also got, switching between windows is hard. Andy says, hey, Obi, I'm with you. Ghost in the Shell was really good, but I don't see it picking up mainstream. Nikki does not agree with us.
Here's my problem, too. I know you were saying how the acting was supposed to be a certain style.
Yeah.
The problem I had is mostly with Scarlett Johansson's version of the acting with it.
A lot of people don't like the way she walks around.
Well,
she stops.
She did it, and you're like, well, that's supposed to be the style. This is an anime. It's a remake of that. But other people did not have the same style of acting to match with hers.
Well, but Nikki, she was a human ghost in a cybernetic body.
But I didn't feel it was all as cohesive. And I felt like some people then, because she was acting robotic, some did not, and their acting seemed so much better, even though it wasn't necessarily.
Sure.
But I just had a hard time with that.
You know what? I don't know
when you put
why.
one next to the other, but it's fine if you liked it a second time.
I did.
I just thought we finally agreed on something, and we didn't both like it together.
Even the first time I saw it, I liked it. It was just one of those things where you watch it and you're like, it looks expensive. They put a lot of work into it, and it's like nobody's going to like this. This is a lot of work for nothing. Like, nobody's going to watch this and like it.
There's a lot of movies that fit in that category.
Oh, man. Let's see. Lance says Rocky is better the second time. Ken says The Prestige. It's almost a completely different movie the second time you see it. Have you ever seen that?
Which one's that?
That is the Christopher Nolan one. It's got
you like that one.
It's got Hugh Jackman in it, and it's got Scarlett Johansson in it.
Oh, thank
you.
And
the guy that played Batman.
Christian Bale?
Christian Bale, yeah, they're all three in it. In fact, it's like all the Batman people in between Batman movies went off and made
Well,
The
they all like
Prestige.
to work with that guy.
Hey, that movie is great. Like, yeah, and I don't think Eric's seen that yet either. I keep telling him he needs to watch it. It's one of those things where how often could I tell you a movie that's not just good, it's great. Like, it is a fantastic movie. Almost never. If it's that good, you've seen it by now.
Sure.
He's like, yeah.
But there's one that we haven't. Let's see. Christian said from New York, Step Brothers is good the second time around.
Oh, man. I don't watch a lot of comedy. Like,
Will Ferrell?
Yeah, I don't know. Paul says American History X, man, you're reaching way back on that one.
That's an emotional movie.
It's way back on that one. So let's see. All right, if you want to sound off, you can always text us. And as we said, you can also hit us up on Facebook as well.
And isn't it great to have an opportunity to look like you're working today and really we're just talking about movies?
That's
so please join us on Facebook.
Franklin says Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
no,
the
Franklin.
new one.
No, I can't see that being possible. I don't know.
Boy, Franklin, I can't speak authoritatively on it because, Nikki, I have not watched it a second time.
You saw it the first time?
Yeah, I saw it the first time. I saw it once.
That's enough.
Well, Nikki,
That's plenty of time.
I wanted to know. Turtles.
Stop.
I didn't see the second one yet, though, but that was on, I don't know if it still is, but it was on Amazon Prime for free.
You don't need to because then that says something. And then they keep making them because they're like, yeah, that Obi saw it.
He liked it.
We should make another one.
Remember how much you like Ghost in the Shell? That was a box office smash.
Let's make Ghost in the Shell with turtles.
Okay.
And put them together. Robot turtles.
You know what? Honestly,
with stiff acting.
The Turtles movies could have been a lot better if they just fixed their faces.
True.
I guarantee you, right there, they could have made twice as much money if they had made them look right. And they didn't. I know what a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle is supposed to look like.
Oh, God.
So, I could have helped you with that.
All right, everybody. All right.
The Riot.
Apparently, some of the less athletic types go nuts for this stuff.
Radio U.
Last week, Nikki and I talked about the flu. We talked about sinus infections, but what we really had was a misdiagnosed Olympic fever.
Did not know it then.
Unbelievable. The fever was causing some sort of a fluid leakage in my nose down into my throat, but it was definitely caused by the Olympics.
You had this desire to wear red, white, and blue and medals. Any medal you could get a hold of.
That's right. Now, Nikki, I was looking here. The Olympics are on now.
Yeah.
And I don't mean right now, but you know what I mean.
No, I think they're probably going on all the time.
I'm sure with your cable login, you can find live Olympic coverage anytime you want it. There's that. But what do you do when the Olympics is over? You've got at least 2 years that you've got to wait. And then that's just the summer
Winter
Olympics.
Yeah.
But if you want the Winter Olympics again, it's a 4-year wait before anything can happen. Well, look what we have here. Nikki, did you know that the Criterion Collection put together a 32 Blu-ray compilation called 100 Years of Olympic Films?
Oh, I want those Blu-rays.
I know that you do.
Oh, my goodness. We go to this site where it shows like, oh, this is the upcoming Blu-ray and DVD releases. And the Criterion Collection was always featured on there. Mm-hmm. You're like, what the heck is this? Like, why is this so important? And it would always come up with older movies that they would release in a special way.
Wait, how many discs did I say?
30-something?
Okay, 32.
32?
Is the correct one. And they have footage going all the way back to the 1912 Stockholm Olympics, and then from every Olympics going all the way up to Vancouver 2010. That's
Is that
weird.
when it stopped?
I thought this went all the way to 2012. It says that it does, but they don't list footage from 2012, so I can't be sure. So, I mean, admittedly, it's, 6 years old, but you'll have just come off the 18 Olympics. They'll have been referencing the 14 Olympics a lot, so you're practically there.
You've seen that stuff.
You're practically there, no problem.
It'd be interesting to see some of the beginning, like the old Olympic coverage, but not enough to buy a 32-disc set.
Well, I mean, what else are you doing with your money?
That's like if someone
Eating?
just could upload it to YouTube and I'll watch the clip.
Wait a minute. So you're saying you want this for your birthday?
I don't want the whole thing.
You
No,
want it
I
for your
don't want
birthday.
any. I do not.
That's what you said.
It's too much money. You'll never get this for me, even as a joke.
You know what, though? But if I got all our friends to come together and we all pitched in.
How much is it?
Well, you know what, Nikki? If I'm going to give it as a gift, I don't want to talk about the money.
How much is it?
$200?
That's so much money.
But I mean, for 32 Blu-rays, and you love, think about this, with 32 Blu-rays, that's at least 32 times that you have to get up off your couch and go over to the Blu-ray player, which I'm told is something you really enjoy.
That's something where you have to have 32 spaces to be able to hold all these Blu-rays.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have that anymore. Everything's digital.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no thank you.
Well, I don't see any digital copies available here. It appears to be just the Blu-rays.
So if you're interested in the Criterion Collection for the Olympics, the 32 Blu-ray, I mean, that's a lot.
That's a lot of Blu-rays.
That's a lot.
It comes in a box that, you know, like your Blu-rays now, they come in those little plastic whatever. This is going to be a box. You're going to display this box.
Back in the
You're
day,
going to be really proud of it.
They used to come with like a bookend to like put next to your books. What if it was like a torch?
I love that.
And it lit up.
Did you see the video being passed around of the people running with the torch and they're like, no, wait for it. And it's like 3 minutes of them just looped. Yes. I appreciated
the Olympics
that.
Page sent that out, I think.
They've done a pretty good job with some of their like online stuff. Yeah, the other one where they drop the walkie-talkie and everyone's like skiing and diving for it and no one can finally get it. Like someone does eventually, but that was also something I appreciated.
See, I like that. I don't need 32 Blu-rays to get that.
Wow. But, I mean, Nikki.
Nope. We've ended it.
Like, they're 4K restorations. Now, they're not 4K Blu-rays, but, you know, that means that it's going to look spectacular.
Can you imagine? You're like, hey, okay, first Blu-ray down. Like, that's a lot of space.
That's exciting. You've been looking for something to binge watch?
It's like 31 more to go.
Send your complaints regarding that worst of the riot moment to Fire Obadiah at RadioU.com.
So here's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out if I'm really good at coughing.
Mm-hmm.
And so my body, since it's, aside from gaining weight, hasn't been really good at anything throughout the course of its life.
But maybe those are the two things.
Well, that's what I was thinking, is like, you know, it gains weight. I mean, this water. I mean, I'm going to have to exercise to work this water
off. And it's not water weight. It's just water weight and weight.
It takes water and just immediately translates it to fat. That's something my body can do. It's amazing. So, like, there's that.
Yeah.
But then the other thing that I feel like it has come into later in life, you know, in the last, really, I would say almost in the last year, has been coughing. And I just wonder if my body is just like finally, and it's showing off. Like, hey, guys, check me out. Look at this. Look what I can do. Look at this.
I don't think that's true because, like, your coughing's better today. Because a lot of times you cough when you just talk. And so when you do the morning show and you have a cough, it's just terrible.
It has been better today.
But you cough the most at night and no one's there to see it.
I know, but...
So it's not showing off.
Okay, but here's my thing, right? I feel like, of course, even in my self-deprecating comment about gaining weight just from drinking water, maybe my body is just like... Look, love me, appreciate me. Like,
listen to me.
Listen to me. So, like, maybe it's a fight between, you know, my mind and my body.
Maybe.
It's just like, look, we're good at stuff. Don't tell people we're not good at stuff. We can stay up all night coughing.
Coughing's the worst because you get so frustrated. And then, you know, you're getting stressed, and I'm sure stress doesn't help it. Then you have a stress cough.
Then, here's what I was thinking, all right? Here was over here, like, I'm so good at coughing, whatever. But then... I feel like maybe I've come to the sad realization that the real truth is I'm actually really bad at coughing. Because think about this. Isn't the goal of coughing to get it out?
If you can't.
And so I'm coughing and coughing and coughing. I'm doing that thing in the middle of the night where I'm hanging my body off the side of the bed, trying to get the phlegm to run out of my body so that I can cough it up to whatever. And then I started thinking, like I went to bed thinking I was good at coughing, but in the middle of the night I started thinking, no, bro, you're actually not good at coughing because if you were good at it, you'd be done by now.
Maybe you should sleep on your stomach and kind of like prop yourself up like triangle.
So that it's just running.
Butt up in the air and your legs down and put enough pillows underneath your chest so then it just kind of runs out and then you're comfortable to try to sleep.
I'm going to have to lock the door if that's what I'm doing.
What are you doing? You know what? Desperate times, okay? You're like, can I have 4 more pillows and put them underneath me?
Lock the door, close the windows, hope for the best.
The comfortable, I mean, like, if you're sleeping on your back, of course you're going to cough. And even if you're trying to sleep sitting up, then that's even worse because that's uncomfortable.
Oh, no, that's what I'm doing now. But the thing is...
So try your stomach.
I've found that, like, I'm sitting up, like, almost at a 90-degree angle, and my body's like, okay, that worked 2 nights ago.
But not tonight.
But tonight, we're totally not doing that. So, you can forget about that.
I'm just happy for you. It seems like you're having a really good sleep cycle.
Well, the nice thing about it is that in the middle of this sickness, I'm able to do a lot of... I'm asking a lot of the big questions. What am I here for? What am I good at? Like, where are my gifts, and how can I use those gifts and talents for the good of me and society? And so I've got the gaining weight and the coughing thing, but I'm still working out. Like, I'm, again, asking the important questions.
Yeah, a lot of time now to think about those things.
Well, you stay up all night, you have a ton of time. And that's the great thing with the coughing. You're up a lot.
My favorite, too, then, is when you have that opportunity, then you're so on your game during the day.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're just so energized and awake and, like, motivated.
Yes, come on.
I like it.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's
your best time.
It really is. And so maybe I really am the best at coughing. So good at it.
Well,
Do they
try
have
the
that?
pyramid thing tonight with the pillows, okay?
Oh, don't worry, Nikki.
What if it works?
I'll figure out how to cough. Don't worry.
The Riots turn it down.
And rip the knob off.
Radio U.
Oh, thanks. Someone brought me pancakes. Would you like one? What? What's the matter?
There's 2 of us.
And there's that butter on there? Oh, there's 3 pancakes.
I feel like it's inappropriate that you're rubbing it in.
I'm not rubbing it in.
You're not? Are you for real right now? Are we in the same room?
The air over there.
Are these for
rubbing
me?
it in would be
Are these pancakes with melted butter?
Is that warm? They're still warm. If you feel the bottom of the thing, they're warm. Well, that was a nice surprise, isn't it, for everybody?
Look, I know you have your own problems. I know you do. But I want you to know from where I sit, it looks pretty good over there.
What, because someone brought me pancakes?
You've got a live-in butler that makes breakfast every morning.
Did your dad make pancakes, Eric?
Yes,
okay.
Eric didn't make those. His dad did. And he's just bringing them in here.
Well, that's very nice. Thanks for bringing them.
Oh, man.
Who gets pancakes on a weekday? So weird.
I
never think there'd be time. I do, but I normally don't. I don't normally get breakfast.
I'll just tell you right now, all this talk about privilege in the media, that's what it looks like.
Pancakes on a Monday?
Yes.
Oh
that's
my
what
gosh.
it looks like. This whole thing, it all reeks of privilege. Big pancake is the whole problem.
Can't you be happy for me that I got pancakes?
No, I can't because I don't have it. If not everyone has them.
Am I a 1% pancake person?
Yeah, you are. That's right. Nikki, right now, you're the one that's chipping away at the foundation of society.
Hey, I'm ruining the world.
You and your pancakes.
I was going to share with you,
no,
but
you
I don't
weren't.
think...
Now you feel compelled.
I would always share with you.
Now you just feel compelled.
Now I don't want to.
Fine. All right. If you want to share with me, the only thing I want to do is lick the butter off. Then you can just have them.
I'd be fine with it. We've known each other for years. I'm fine with it.
Look, you've been coughing in my face all day.
I haven't gotten your sinus infection yet, so I think I'm fine. If it makes you feel better, have at it.
What's the worst? And right there, that's Nikki and I's attitude towards almost all of society. Like, what? Look, if that's what you need, just take it and leave me alone,
Just let me eat a bite of it when you're done. Or maybe don't let me see you do it, and then it's fine.
Just be mad, eat a pancake, get out.
And let's go upstairs and work, okay? So
I feel like
you need to, it's fine.
Like a lot just happened right here.
You feel better now?
I wasn't even really mad. I was just doing that for the show. I don't care if you have pancakes. I actually hope you enjoy them. Hey, you want to see what I brought?
What'd you bring?
Wait, hang on.
He's got something.
You're going to be pretty jealous.
Do you have an egg sandwich or something?
No.
Do you have a French toast? You have a pancake too. You have a pancake too. What are you doing? You have a pancake too. You have a Monday pancake, and you're giving me stuff about this pancake. I hate you.
Hey, but to be...
What are you doing?
It's a Sunday pancake.
Your own pancake.
What? Nobody brought it in and handed it to me warm. I'm going to have to put it in the microwave.
Damn you. You have your own pancake. You.
Does anybody else feel like a large metaphor just played out in front of you?
Like, does anybody else have any pancakes today?
I got a pancake right here.
My goodness. Well, good for you. You don't get to lick this pancake then over here. This stays here.
Oh, okay, so now we go back on our word. Okay.
You got your own.
Okay, sure.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh no! I missed it! Do it again!
You can hear us live every day on the Radio U network through the Radio U app or at riot.radiou.com.
That's
on,
through
Glitter.
Valentine's Day.
Come on, Glitter. Come on.